I think it's about 5 years of no gas-powered vehicles are the equivalent of what just went into the air here in Southern California. We've completely, whatever CO2 we are worried about putting into the atmosphere in California, we have completely undone anything we could possibly do by allowing these fires to occur.
That's Dr. Drew on how this is an environmental disaster, which proves the environmentalists are not capable of saving the environment, even in the most environmental place in the world, which is Los Angeles. Welcome to John Mike Keene. We're going to go into how the LA mayor, Karen Bass, is a vowed communist. First, here's a news segment with Caruso, who ran against Karen Bass. And he says that the fire department has no water to fight this fire. And the local Fox News in LA says that he's lying, that no firefighters have told them that they're out of water.
You got to have water. And my understanding is the reservoir was not refilled in time and in a timely manner to keep the hydrants going.
Despite what you have heard from Caruso, no firefighters have told us that they are running out of water.
And then they cut to a news segment where the firefighters say there's no water. This is mainstream media trying to cover this thing up.
And let's go out to Gigi Graciette. She is live in Pacific Palisades. I know your signal's not the best, but Gigi, what can you tell us?
Well, firefighters have told me they have no water on this block, and you may be able to make out the ember storm that we're in the middle of right now. This house going to be a total loss. They have no water to put on this fire. They are...
And now civilians are setting fires within the Palisades, ANTIFA civilians. But was this all deliberate? Here's some backstory on the mainstream media will not tell you about how Karen Bass was part of a Cuban communist ring under Castro.
Let me introduce you to Karen Bass. Back in the 1970s, community activist Karen Bass went on at least 15 trips to Cuba, many with a group known as the Venceremos Brigade, a Marxist group started by the Castro regime to subvert American interests, weaken democracies, and spread communism around the world. The Venceremos Brigade organized trips to Cuba every year for half a century. They attracted the most radicalized and delusional segments of the American left, including overtly Maoist and pro-Soviet communist groups. In fact, a Los Angeles police investigator who infiltrated the group testified to Congress saying that to be a member of the brigade, you had to be confirmed as a Marxist-Leninist, as a brigadista, and then moving up the ranks to organizer for the Venceremos Brigade. Karen Bass visited Cuba every 6 months. Their mission? To radicalize young, impressionable American leftists in guerrilla warfare. Members of the Venceremos Brigade were even taught how to make bombs. Karen Bass admits, on her many pilgrimages to Cuba, she went to see Fidel Castro speak several times. The South Los Angeles Venceremos Brigade was led by Karen Bass, who is now mayor of Los Angeles.
You're probably saying, John Mike Keene, that's a conspiracy and we don't do that. And I thought to myself, yeah, okay, it's weird that she's a communist. It's weird that she's a leader of this thing who has taken 15 trips to visit Castro, and Karen Bass happens to be the mayor. Well, then they started reporting this. These are civilians in Santa Monica and in the Palisades. They have a huge homeless population because it's illegal to remove them from the front of a business doorstep when they're sleeping there. Well, now these people are setting fires. This could be Antifa, or this could be an interior ring of people led by Cuban communist Karen Bass.
We're at 302 Pico, and people are lighting fires now. You can see they lit a fire. These guys, not all the people there, but some of those guys lit that fire, and they're actually, the trees caught fire, and then the palms are catching fire. So civilians are now lighting fires. Fire department's been dispatched. We don't have enough water to put this thing out.
No water to put this thing out. He's going to have a fight with that mainstream news journalist saying that the fire department, he's the last to know. He's telling you the news, and he's gaslighting you. These people California is run by lunatics. And this is the fallout. I'm John Mike Keene.